Hey guys, welcome back to Fandom Sage Powers, where we discuss comics, heroes, villains, and the Dawn. We are jumping back into Otherworld with Betsy Braddock and Excalibur with Excalibur issue number 11, right now. Do we know who brought the beast down? Not yet. Do we know if it's going to die? Not yet. It cries like it wants something. It's a dragon. I know, but it cries like a baby. Does it want milk? No. It wants what all babies want, silly. It wants its mother. Is she dangerous? You saw what she did. But if she's that thing's mother, can you blame her? Hold on. I'm going to see if she has decided to become calm and speak with She has not. Oh dear. But it would appear something is coming to free her anyway. More dragons? No. It's Captain Britain. Surrender, Jubilee, or face my sword. Does she understand who we are? Most assuredly not. Get your bow. We aren't going to be able to explain ourselves anytime soon. Students and devotees to Saturnyne, the Priestesses are organized into two castes, those of the White, who have chosen to live within the walls of the Citadel and the surrounding province, and those of the Green, who have taken their training and knowledge to the lands outside of the Citadel and chosen to enact Saturnyne's intent rather than her direct will. By living along the wild thickets that act as buffers between the province of Avalon, or other provinces, and the province of Saturnyne, they are known to act as healers, hunters, and keepers of the land. Priestesses of the White only leave their lady's tower by donning their crescent diadems and taking a nearly faceless form, obscuring their own identity that they may act in anonymous accordance with Lady Saturnyne's will. Priestesses of the Green follow Saturnyne's teaching and intent, believing balance to be a nuanced thing that cannot be corrected by distant declaration, and requiring attention, action, and presence. Despite their differences, the Green are not viewed as heretical. Rather, Magestrix allows them, viewing them as a necessary opposition to her own actions, as all things must have opposition. Occasionally, the White and the Green come into contention when orders given to priestesses for the White, example, stop Captain Britain and her cohorts, slay the dragon, etc., find themselves in conflict with the Green's more moderate views, who tend to follow a less draconic code of ethics, such as if you find a wounded dragon in the woods, nurse it back to health, or if a woman is causing explosions in the forest, imprison her until she calms down a bit. Typically, the Green will fight their enemies, as they say, only till their sides stitch, meaning the wariness from battle calms the temper and brings about necessary parley. Jubilee. Betsy? Oh God. You have to get me out of here. They've got Shogo. I don't know where, but I can feel he's near me. If they killed him. He's alive, Jubilee. He'll be okay. Did you find who did it? Did you kill them for me? Breathe. Listen, please. It was Saturnyne. Some of her agents, priestesses. Oh, I'll kill her. I need you to be patient and strong. Shogo needs that. Find your strength, even if it's just alone against your later revenge. Where is he, Betsy? Where are you? Get me out of here. I'm right here, right outside, with some of her priestesses. Are they still alive? They're taking care of Shogo. These aren't the priestesses who hurt them. There are factions. It's a bit complicated, but they can help us. If you come out, you can see him. I know he wants to see you. We are not violent, but the forest is our realm to protect. If she continues to threaten us with her blasts of light, we will have to just wait. Okay, I'm done. I'd like to see my son now. So, what now? Can't we plant the gate here? Take Shogo back to Krakoa for healing and get another gate flower and leapfrog our way back? I suggested to Jubilee we break him back to Krakoa for healing, but we don't know what it would do to him. That wound is larger than his whole tiny body. There's a chance we take him through the gate and he just falls apart. Boy needs his mama, and we got a mission to get to that Citadel and plant us a gate. Either we split up or we're stuck here. I'm more inclined to leave you all here with her and go forward myself. If need be, I can move through Otherworld without the gate. You kidding me? Saturnyne shot that dragon out of the sky. What do you think she's gonna do to you when you roll on up there? I don't understand why she'd do anything at all. I'm Captain Britain. Why would she keep the Citadel closed to me? Can't sleep. Huh? Greetings, Druid. Welcome to the heart of our home. Priestesses? May I approach? Of course. You mean this earth no harm. It feels nice here, like following a good smell to the kitchen. This forest is beloved. The earth here is beloved and protected and fought over. When we die for something we love, the earth is what collects our heart's blood. Some believe that is the power inherent in earth, and that power is about to rise. More war, more blood. Soon, not now, soon. So I just touch it? I can hear something. I can hear myself. Is someone listening? Who the is listening to my thoughts?
My dear boy, I have been eager to hear from you. Far in the other world, I cannot even hear the captain's powerful thoughts without some sort of amplifier.
How is it that you can hear me now?
I would assume you are meditating upon a place of great power, and it is increasing your personal psychic reception. Why is the gate not yet built?
Show goes down. Saturnyne sent some of her priestesses to stop us. They shot him out of the sky. We don't know why, but we aren't going to be able to just walk up to the Citadel and plant a gate now.
The gate is but one element of what is to come. There is a tale it is time for you to know. This is not my first coven. Long have I believed that mutant kind seeks one another by nature. More than wanting to live among one another, we are intended to, for our own protection. The High Lords of us understood that.
Is that Selene? These are the externals.
We prefer High Lords. When we desire to meet, it takes little more than a thought to bring us together. For that reason, we almost never call upon one another. We are connected in other ways as well. Our energies are like that of a single organism. If one of us dies, the others feel ourselves become stronger, as though one had distributed the contents of them among us. So when one of our number had a plan to extract her own life energy and place it into a stone, it was in my own interest to help.
That's Kendra. I know about her. She used to give Gambit a hard time.
Indeed. And the creation of the infamous gem that once held her life force was, in many ways, my first ritual. It was power we could all have shared, but she chose to remove it from herself and keep it rather than share it among her kindred. When I sunk the blade into her heart, I could have taken it for myself. Some of us felt like it was theft to keep a shared thing like that in a stone where she could hide it away from us. But the power contained within was a temptation for impatient men, lesser men. Individual power comes and goes, but I now knew the ritual of the coven, the mastery over power that our kind has always been destined for, the gift of rebirth.
And what does this have to do with me and the gate?
Because, my boy, our life in stones, our blood in the dirt, our home on Krakoa, power over the earth is power over us all.
We have to leave for the Citadel. Shogo has to stay here. So, you priestesses are in luck. You've got a roughly immobile and very friendly dragon who can melt anyone who gets too close to you. Richter, no! I'm not leaving him! And you'll also have the protection of his psychotic mother. What? We have to continue to the Citadel. I can't ask you to come with us with Shogo wounded. I don't want to stay here, but I know. I'm sure he'll be up and his old self in no time. He'll be back home and torturing Maggie. I'll keep in touch. Be careful. Dragonfire is forbidden as a weapon of war in most of the provinces, but desperate times call for desperate measures. We are grateful for the gift of his flame. But Avalon's war with Saturnyne is over, yes? Morgan was deposed. King Jaime has no quarrel with these kingdoms, does he? Why all the talk of wartime? There is much of your brother's deeds you don't know, but trust us, the war we fear hasn't yet begun. We're really leaving, Jubes and Shogo? We don't have a choice, Rogue. And if we get the gate set up outside of the Citadel, we can come and go as we please. We can return for them when they need.
Big if that. How are we gonna get there? We tried to fly up on a dragon and got shot down. How are we gonna walk up on her lawn? Oh, we aren't gonna walk up on her lawn. We're gonna go under it.
Ah, clever.
So much for sneaking.
She shot Jubilee's son out of the sky, Gambit. I don't know that peace was ever an option.
Who has the gate flower?
I do, but we aren't anywhere near the Citadel yet. We have to get the gate onto the Citadel grounds, but I didn't expect this kind of resistance.
Give it here. Let's get it started a little early. Plants like that.
Come on, little baby. Get some roots.
Follow that flower. As soon as that gate gets anchored, jump through and get out of here. I'll follow.
On the way.
I'll clear a path. Target practice. No?
We go through that gate. We leave Jubilee behind all alone in otherworld. No, that won't happen. One thing at a time. Let's see if that gate took hold. I know what you're doing, Betsy. You're doing Psylocke stuff. Gonna make everyone else worry about you while you save the day in secret. Watch it, Rogue. I ain't playing. You stay, I'm staying too, and so is Remy. We can't all stay behind. Someone has to use the gate. Someone has to go back to A.
You volunteering, mon ami?
I think I am.
Hey, I just remembered something. Don't the otherworld gates need crystals or some...
Ah! Hey! Hey!
I can hear you. Can you make yourself like the firmament, my boy? A place on the earth, an anchor for a location, so that I may find you and bring you to me.
Yeah, I can do that. I've done that before. Ready? A. Betsy Braddock, why are you storming my castle? I will not be kept from the Starlight Citadel. Not if you send 100,000 arrows my way, Lady Saturnyne. You're much less cooperative than your brother. I don't prefer you to him as Captain Britain. I'm sorry to hear that, my lady, because I'm the only Captain Britain you've got. What are you still doing here? I'm through with you two. You're dismissed. We're staying with you, may go. Guess we'll hang out here till Betsy needs us.
That Saturnyne is one rude lady.
She might be, but for all them scrying mirrors and looking balls, she ain't seen her mistake.
What you mean, Cher?
She sent us out in the hall. She thinks we just gonna sit here and twiddle our thumbs? What you think's in that big old closet over there? Bunch of goodies.
Dude.
Attaboy.
It wasn't even locked.
Well, why would it be? We ain't supposed to be here. All Saturnyne's flyers got called to the fight. Don't know if I should encourage you like this, but I like to see you smile.
Lucky me. Huh, why not? Might as well fill my pockets.
Darling, you know I like letting you take your time, but best hurry up before we get company.
Yeah, sorry about that. You know I'm a sucker for a pretty thing.
Okay, another great issue of Excalibur. And we finally get Betsy Braddock, Captain Britain, face to face with Saturnyne. And as expected, Saturnyne does not like Betsy. Saturnyne is obsessed with Brian Braddock, even though he is very much married and in love with Megan, is pretty shameless about it, in fact. So the fact that Betsy Braddock is Captain Britain right now is really boiling her potato. I'm sure she's angling to try to get Brian to retake up the mantle of Captain Britain. Saturnyne is not a villain per se, but she is definitely an antagonist. Usually she's very antagonistic and anytime she pops up in the comics and in any story she's in. And it's hard to say if her attitude has gotten worse from her last appearance or not, but her disregard of her priestesses, like she says she can go through them like paper mache, or she doesn't really care if they get killed or whatever, is kind of telling of how she looks at other people under her as expendable, as tools or pawns, or in service of the Omniverse at her disposal.
Now, normally Captain Britain would be welcomed into the Starlight Citadel because it's pretty much their base of operations with whoever the Omniversal Magestrix is. They usually work together, you know, and then they go out on missions or whatnot. But Betsy, being a mutant, this is complicating things because they've been under attack. Well, Otherworld was under attack, and Avalon specifically, by the forces of Morgan Le Fay. Then Apocalypse manipulated events in order to get a mutant on the throne of Avalon, which was a big power move that I'm sure Saturnyne is a little salty about. And the fact that Apocalypse was able to pretty much break through their cloaking spell to find out where the Starlight Citadel was. She's wary of mutants. So she doesn't have a problem with mutants in general. I've never gathered that, but they're definitely not her favorite type of people either. So she's taking a cautious approach with Betsy Braddock as this new Captain Britain. She took it to the extreme, even attacked them while they were flying on the back of Shogo. I love the way the issue opened, like a cold open, with these priestesses of the green kind of discussing what had happened in the destruction of the forest and the dragon that had been felled, as well as the dragon's mother, whom they had to sequester away. They had to lock her down because she was in a state of pure madness, which honestly is completely understandable. If somebody hurts your child, you are going to lose your. So they had to restrain her until she calmed down. But it's taken a while for her to calm down until Betsy Braddock comes in and kind of explains the situation to her and gets her to calm down. And as it turns out, Shogo will be okay. He'll survive, but he is injured pretty severely to the point where they're scared to take him back through the gate to Krakoa because, you know, the wound on his body is bigger than his body. And they just don't know. They rather wait for him to heal while in Otherworld in his dragon form. This connection with Richter and Apocalypse has been an interesting development over the course of this series. Richter seems to have developed a really strong reverence for Apocalypse and is learning from him. Whether or not he really fully trusts him or not is a different story, but he realizes that Apocalypse has been around a very long time and knows a lot of things, so he's absorbing all of this information, all of this knowledge, which I think is very smart. Now, when they are connected in this place of power, when he meets these priestesses or these druids, Apocalypse shows him his first coven, which are the externals, which I thought this was really cool to bring in these characters. A part of Apocalypse's past that is rarely talked about a lot, even when Selene is around, like they never really, you know, dabble into that part of their past too much. Maybe that's intentional because they don't want to broadcast it. So the fact that Apocalypse is sharing this with Richter, I think is also significant because he seems to favor him quite a bit and he wants him to understand what can be done when there are powerful mutants that are on the same accord and can come together to get things done. And I think Richter is gathering this very quickly and understanding what Apocalypse is trying to teach him. Apocalypse also references Kandra, and we know Kandra was the external that was obsessed with Remy when he was in the Thieves Guild down in the bayous. You know, this is from way back in the 90s, and she was obsessed. She's been obsessed with him, and she'll pop up every once in a while. And she pretty much took her life force and put it inside this heart-shaped gem or this ruby or whatever, try to keep it from the rest of them, but she got it bad for Remy. So at the end of the issue, it is interesting that Rogue and Remy are left to their own devices and they go pilfering through Saturnyne's belongings and open this cabinet and find a bunch of cool stuff, including what looks to be that ruby or that heart-shaped gem that is Kandra's with her life force in it. So if you like this episode, please give me that thumbs up. If you're interested in joining the crew for real, please check out my page in the join section. I do have great memberships and you get early access to content days and days earlier than most people. You also get custom emojis, custom badges, custom wallpapers, custom backdrops, whatever you want. I'll do it custom. So please check that out if you want to support me. Thank you for watching and I will catch you in the next issue.